followed D&D history for long, you're probably familiar with this. Caverns of Thracia by Janelle Jacquays and Judges Guild 1979. This is the dungeon adventure module that has become the test by which all dungeon design is measured today. We're glad that you're joining us for this adventure. Like, subscribe, and share. They have been waiting for over 1,000 years. The things that lurk beneath the waters, skulk in the darkness, and lie hungrily in the dank crypts have been patient. All around them, men and monsters bicker for the above ground. None have been bold enough to traverse the dark cavern's depths, afraid, or perhaps wise enough, to leave the forgotten vaults and hidden passages alone. And still they wait, undisturbed. For you, an adventurer, are willing to brave those depths. Everyone, welcome back to Lioness. Big money last time. So we got some people getting hit points. So let's see. Did you say Hans needs to roll, Zach? No?
Yes, he does.
Oh, yeah. All right, let's see how it goes. I would love to see it.
Hans is rolling for big level 3. All right, so...
You have a Constitution modifier?
No.
Oh, I've heard it's useless anyway.
Oh, wow, that would be a 5.
That's pretty good.
That's not bad. So
Not bad at all.
Hans is now riding with 16 HP.
Wow. Starting to feel like a real Dungeons & Dragons character.
It is.
16 hit points. You might be able to fight a Dark Patriarch in hand-to-hand combat with that. Next
Well,
time.
I tried that once.
Yeah. You say Wyman got hit points?
Yeah.
Oh, man. So he's level 4, level 5?
Level 4.
Oh, wow. Okay. I thought he was...
Oh, nice.
What's the total?
The total will be 21 HP.
Wow.
Nice.
Real good.
All right.
You love to hear it.
And then you said Sparrow, right? Or did you already roll?
I had rolled it last time.
You already rolled it last time. Okay. And then...
So Nissa had gone from level 1 to level 3, so I could roll my hit dice too if you want.
You can. I don't know. I don't know if I missed it on the character sheet. If you're happy with the hit point value that you have, you can keep it. Or if
yeah, I
you wanna roll,
was. It was pretty average. So yeah, I'm more than happy just leaving it where it's at.
That's fine.
Cool.
Yeah. And then Matt.
Mazwick the Midwit.
Yeah. I get my.
I rolled a 1.
That's there you go.
That's our hero.
Only the best for Mazwick the Midwit.
And then just
Hey,
see
one
her,
more.
see, oh wait, what'd you say?
It's still one more than he
Oh
had.
yeah, that's right. And then Jasir, did you level up?
I had already rolled, so
That's fine.
my sheet is already updated.
What'd you get?
I got up to 15.
Wow.
So level 3, 15 hit points is really good for a cleric.
Yeah, level 15, or a level 3, 15 hit points for a cleric is awesome. Okay.
Yeah.
So. It is the 5th of Marta of Erok. And it is it's been cold. It's been around 35, 40 degrees Fahrenheit outside. So it has been weather recently that you could travel in. Winds are kicking up outside though. The wind speed is increasing. And it is the night before the 6th of Marta. And it's been 2 weeks since you last adventured. I'll do a brief recap, but then before I hand it over to Jahan and Sparrow, I'll describe what's around you in this village and where you are. And if I miss anything about what happened last time that is really consequential for those that were there, please let me know. So we decided that Nissa and 𝕬𝖃𝖍𝖗 were on their own travels at the time. And 2 weeks ago, a great battle took place. Multiple regiments of undead and the hastily constituted guards of Coanmah were brought into a defense of the village at night. A good portion of the village was slaughtered in the early hour of the battle. And one of our heroes, Hans, rallied the levies of the city as Jasir and Jahan took to the bell tower and harried the undead with magic and sorcery. And 𝕬𝖃𝖋𝖍𝖗 mounted his warhorse with lance and engaged the enemy commander in combat and flanked their forces. And using the levies and a kind of defense in depth with the spells, they were able to turn the unholy undead from the village. But with and they were able to slay the rest of the Dark Patriarch's forces. However, the Dark Patriarch fled. And by that, I mean literally flew. And flew away as the single survivor, unharmed. And all of the characters survived, but the vast majority of Coanmah now lay dead and in ruins. The tavern is still there, your estate is still there, some buildings, and the villagers have basically created a desperate enclave with a constant watch, which you have all agreed to take charge of. You are, in effect, the lords of Coanmah. So, there was some discussion what to do about this. Do you go and face the Dark Patriarch at once? Jasir has a curse from a sorcerer in a tower south of the ruins of Thracia. The curse demands that within, and by the way, 2 weeks have passed. So, I believe it's at the end of Arok, which we will reach in a month and a half of real time. If you do not obtain the Dark Blade by then, you may perish. Or find some other way out of this dark curse. And so eventually they decided that it all came down to finding this Dark Blade and parlaying with this sorcerer to pit two evil sorcerers against each other. At least in a wild hope to do so. And so you intend to travel north, and during your travels, you encountered two nobles looking for a strange mushroom. One of those nobles was devoured by the earth. Nothing else need be said about that. But you found the mushrooms, and the noble agreed to try to gain you an audience with his master, who is one great and wondrous Calistro in Angemar. He is apparently one of the most powerful people in Angemar. And you hope to discuss with him or some other person of magical power a way of descending underwater. Supposedly the Dark Blade is off the coast to the north of Angemar, and it is on the seabed. And so you've traveled north, and you've made it to the first village, which is 𝕬𝖃𝖃𝖋𝖍𝖗. So, 𝕬𝖃𝖃𝖃𝖃, you are at the Cahill Inn, which is right here. 𝕬𝖃𝖃𝖃𝖃, they have erected a makeshift wall, and the Baron of Angemar has deployed a number of his forces here who are in a semi-permanent base camp just outside the village. Much of the business of the village is now dedicated to servicing this army. And there are guards and soldiers, off-duty and otherwise, that constantly occupy the streets and the inn. There is also... they have erected a school here. This is under the orders of the Baron, and they have required every child of school age to attend, regardless of, and without any other, like, their parents and caretakers, none of them know what happens at this school. But every child of school age is required to attend this school, specifically here in this village. And there is a general goods store called Abbott's Goods. There is a chapel to one of the old gods of Lioness. There are some homes on the north edge of the city, and then overlooking the city on a rocky crag, like an outcrop in the woods, where there's a stream, there's kind of a gorge beneath it. It overlooks that. Is an old temple, abbey, and everyone says that it's simply been abandoned. It is cursed, and no one goes there. Tonight, in the Cahill Inn, it's a 2-story inn made of hewn granite. It is very well made and imposing from the outside. It's warm inside and rustic and comfortable. There are hunting trophies that mount almost every wall of the inn. And you can see that it's mostly crowded with these sentinels of the Baron's Guard. The innkeeper is a middle-aged woman who cheerfully serves all of the soldiers. She is making bank off of this new arrangement. And she has working for her one woman who also cheerfully serves the soldiers and visitors like yourself. And with that, I hand it over to Jahan, or I'm sorry, to Sparrow.
All right. So I believe our current idea is we continue north to Anjumar, accompanying the noble party, and seek the audience.
Correct. Especially since I'm running up into the time limit here.
That caravan has left. However, you can still attain that audience. You inquire in the city. He has promised it, at least.
Right.
Real quick, by way of housekeeping, since I leveled up, can I attempt to learn sleep?
Yeah, you can go ahead and roll that.
All right. I will, thank you.
Okay, so you're going to hit the road the next day?
Yes, unless does anyone have any suggestions that they would like to do in town?
I'd be interested in checking out the school at some point, but and the old accursed abbey, but I think we have more pressing issues.
Yeah.
I agree.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I agree. We hit the road.
I passed my sleep, by the way. I can
Nice.
put people to sleep now.
Access my modules. Let me see if I can do it from here. The night comes. The next day, when the sun rises, you're met with an awful sound outside of the tavern.
I'll awaken everyone and tell them, get their equipment. What does it sound like?
Something is pelting continuously on the roof of the sturdy building outside. When you look outside, you see that the world is swirling in a hellstorm. It is hailing severely outside. If you travel in hail, it could have effects on combat up to a -4 to hit, and you travel at half speed over land.
That's terrible.
Perhaps we change our mind and instead we could go check out that old temple today.
Or the school. Yeah. Makes sense to me. Delay a day and spend the day investigating locally.
Okay.
Yeah.
I vote temple.
Yeah, temple sounds cool to me.
All right.
The old temple up on the hill?
Yes.
Okay. You pass the general goods store. And your cloaks, you have them, you're huddled into your cloaks. We've already mentioned that you've traveled in severe cold weather. You have heavy cloaks, and wool and oils, cloaks that are oiled in the outside, and whatever you do to endure the weather. It is painful, but you cover your head and keep your cloak tightly over you as you make your way to the hillside. As you look up to it, you cross these buildings on the outskirts. Someone opens a window, he says, "What are you lot up to?" It's an old man looking out from this larger building here.
I'll reply. Due to the inclement weather, we aren't able to continue our travel, so we were thinking about investigating that old temple.
That's foolish. There are people in these houses that have been taken. Guards had to be posted down here. No one goes up to that temple.
Oh, when was the last taking?
A while back when the army arrived. Back when I was mayor. And he gives a sour, bitter look.
So no one's been taken since the army arrived?
No. They posted guards in these buildings.
Well, that is interesting news, so we'll keep that in mind. And I guess I'll turn to the rest of the party. Do you all think we should continue on to the temple or turn back?
I think
Maswick
we should keep
scoffs. Old men have never concerned themselves with our travels to this point. We've never concerned ourselves with theirs. Why would the two meet today? No concern.
All right, we'll continue on to the temple.
He shouts out into the whirling winds and hail, "You're fools!" as you track out into the open, the dead grass of winter, the hard, cold ground. Let's see. It is only a portion of a mile. You find you have to somewhat clamber up the icy, frozen rocks that wind their way up a path that has not seen use in years. There is a stone path that has been hewn out from the ground that once was intended for visitors. This is some sort of temple. Those things which could decay, like trim and paint and windows, all of those things have long since been shattered and taken out of the building. Only it's stone, and that is aged. Anything that could fall in has fallen in a long time ago. Its door is rotted off the hinges and left open to the winds. Inside is darkness.
Is it obvious who this is a temple to? Is it to the true god, or is it to something else?
Does Jasir recognize any architecture?
Well, you are all from Albion, and so none of these gods are familiar to you, but one thing has been clear since you've arrived here, that there is no place here that you've found so far that worships the one true god.
We would recognize at least two gods, Thanatos and Athanar. Or Athena.
Oh, okay. By what means? Like, what would it
We
look
had
like?
seen statues of both of these gods.
Okay.
In the cults. There were other, I believe there's statues of other gods, but we didn't get any positive identifications and wouldn't know them by name, certainly.
Let me actually bring this up. You're able to verify that not only are these not those gods, but it seems apparent that whatever gods were worshipped in this temple have nothing to do with that pantheon. So the two are
Great
different.
information.
And when you look inside, it's dark, but one thing that you can see, everything on the inside of this temple is given way into a great pit in the ground. It's fallen in, and there is a rock and would-be waterfall, but is now frozen. And it goes down into something like a grotto into the earth.
If we
Is there any means? Go ahead.
If we toss a stone, can we sort of get a estimate of how deep it is?
If somebody lights a lantern, does anybody have a lantern?
I do.
With a lantern, it's not hard to see that the grove, the walls of stone could be scrambled down to what would usually be a lush moss-covered edge down at the bottom. A waterfall can be seen going down off to the edge, the side into a water course, which is still flowing down at the bottom. You imagine it must be icy cold. This underground water course is much larger than the creek above ground. It seems to be flowing east to west, and or I'm sorry, as it goes, let's see, west to east, yes. And there is some kind of structure on the other side of it, and there is a single rope bridge with what do you call it? A rope bridge that has the two ropes as well as the wooden thing that goes across it, and it goes to what is some sort of temple understructure. There is a stone wall here, and on the other side of the rope bridge, you can see that there is a door and some kind of stone structure, and then a beautiful stone fountain, which is not currently flowing, but has water in it, and it has a statue of something, maybe a goddess. Hard to tell from here. That is at the edge of your lantern light.
Is there any means, maybe I missed it, is there any serious means to actually get down to that area from here?
Yeah, you can clamber down there if you choose. You think reliably.
I also have some rope if we want to tie it up here, just as a extra safety.
I'd say it's worth investigating if we can't travel on the
Yeah.
main path today.
Does it look like there are any like rocks or more larger pieces that a rope could be tied onto?
Yeah, you're easily able to find something sturdy that you're certain will not give way, and it allows you to belay a rope all the way down to the bottom.
Okay, well yeah, I'll do that, and I'll, we'll head downwards.
Okay. Theater of the Mind. Anyone want to get, what is it, 100 XP for mapping?
Yeah, I've got my graph paper.
You
No
got it.
promises it'll be good.
All right. I'll try to kind of scribble as we go as well. So with Sparrow's rope going down to the edge of this grotto, there is a rope bridge that spans this quickly running icy river that is underground. The rope bridge is probably 50 feet across, and then it goes to what looks like actually a nice courtyard to some kind of temple or church. It's paved out with stone that's been cut, as well as a structure on it, but it sits on a natural plateau on a rock shelf above the current. On the northwest side of this courtyard is a fountain. It's very simple but very elegantly constructed, and it is filled with beautiful, shimmering, clean water.
Can we tell how big the courtyard is from here?
Yeah, it is 50 feet from the end of the rope bridge up until the building. I'm going to kind of scribble some of this and hope that helps too. So let's say, whoa, that is too big.
Does this subterranean structure look to be built and designed in the same way as the temple above?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, so you've got like this grotto that you're starting out at, and a rope bridge, and it leads to a courtyard. And there's like a structure here, like a building, and it has a door, and then there's a fountain on the northwest side of that.
And the facade here, at least the front here, is it 10 feet, door 10 feet?
This is about 50 feet from the
the actual the building that we can see itself.
It goes from the stone plateau up to the ceiling above, which is about 25 feet up.
Okay, and then the wide.
Yeah, this is probably, let's see, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. This is probably 100 feet wide.
Okay.
This, for example, is 20 feet. This the diameter of this stone fountain.
And how far would you say that is from the door?
It is 10, 20, 30, 40 feet. And it's probably 30 feet from the edge of the ledge. I will tell you that this will not matter too much except in combat.
Well, I want to have an accurate map.
until you get inside, and then it will be much smaller. It won't be so grand if you decide to go inside. Right now, you're in a grotto.
Do we notice any lights or activity from within the building?
Roll a d6. Sparrow.
That'll be a 1.
Oh no. Nope, you don't notice anything.
That's what you love to hear. Well, how do you feel about inspecting the fountain first?
I think that's a good idea.
Okay. So you gather your things and you start crossing the bridge. Predictably, halfway across the bridge, all of a sudden you hear noises. All these like inhuman growling voices around you in the dark, and you see yellow eyes, and objects start whizzing by your head, and they also get a chance to attack you with surprise. $17, $16, $20. That's at the bottom of, let's see, $17, $16, $20. There's a 17 hit Sparrow.
Yes.
There's a 16 hit 𝕬𝖃𝖊𝖗. Oh, you're muted, Mr. Emma.
Whoops. Yes, 16 does hit.
All right.
We gotta get this guy some better armor.
Let's see. You take 2 points of damage, Sparrow. You take 5 points of damage, 𝕬𝖃𝖊𝖗, and you take 1 point of damage, Hans, as primitive spears and small thrown objects and improvised projectiles start flinging at you from ledges on either side.
On the off chance that these guys speak the language of the beastmen of the hills, I'm going to shout out a message of peace. I only have a 65% chance to get it right.
They do not.
Oh, but they do have a 1 in 4 chance to speak common.
And they
No,
don't.
Woldish.
I just rolled that. Yeah. All right. Declare spells and plans and actions.
I would like to declare sleep.
All right. Anything else?
Very nice.
All right.
I would also like to declare sleep.
Oh, 2 sleeps.
Yeah. why not?
I'm not sure that we need both of them.
Well, can we see how many they are with our lantern light?
You think you see 6 sets of, or between 3 and 6 sets of yellow eyes along the cleft edges underneath the bridge here and along the walls here. It looks like they've set this up on this bridge.
Will your sleep span both edges? Because they were on both sides of us.
That's a good question. That's a really good question.
Sleep range is 240 feet.
Oh,
What's the area of effect?
Doesn't say.
All right.
It is. Sorry, that's slow. Never mind.
Alright,
Sparrow.
in that case I will, I'll just use missiles. I won't use sleep.
Okay. Roll a d6
Yeah.
for initiative, Sparrow.
Nissa's gonna throw a dagger.
That'll be a 5.
5. You are able to act first. Let's see. Movement and missile fire. I will say that you can see these eyes, so you do not have a penalty. From either side of you, they are a 20-foot distance. I don't know if that has a penalty for dagger. If it's beyond the normal range, it puts it at -4.
Is it not -2 beyond normal range?
I'm sorry, -2. That's right.
Okay, so I'll have a -2.
I thought dagger was 30 feet.
Well, at least on my character sheet, I have it as 10.
Oh, it might be.
Jessir will sling one of them. Shoot a sling stone at one of them.
Yeah, and I'll throw my dots.
All right, you all can roll to hit your target. is
So
A sling is 40 feet, a dagger is 10 feet, a dart is 15 feet. So dagger and darts will have the -2 penalty, sling will not.
Yeah, but
your target is 11.
I rolled a 7.
3.
All right, so nobody hit.
Nope.
Wait, I'm rolling my d20s now. And it's -1 to each of them. No, I think all of those will miss.
Oh no. Okay. All right. Is anybody moving to try to get to them to attack them?
Yeah, Hans.
Okay.
Waymond.
Okay.
Can you move after missile fire? Or does that cause you to be stationary?
Oh,
It's movement or missile fire.
did Hans fire a missile?
I only got a spear.
Okay. Yeah. No.
You could fire that as a missile if you want to do.
No, I don't want to get rid of it because then if I got to do anything with hands, I'm unarmed.
All right. Let's see here. All right. They are going to attempt to fire missiles. Actually, you guys have a choice. Before we do that, Wymond and Hans. There is a group of 3 and a group of 2. One on the near side of the bridge and one on the far side. Which would you prefer?
Which one's closer to Hans?
The near side, which has 2.
Wyman, what do you think? You want to go and take these guys on and fight
Yeah.
the near guys, and then maybe the sleep spell will take out the other 3.
Are these guys 1 HD?
Yes.
I'm thinking about staying and maybe attack these guys as much as possible. What do you think? Do you want me to go with you and help you?
I'm gonna go. If you don't want to go, that's cool. I mean, I don't know how much it'll matter. Hopefully the sleep spells will do their thing, but I mean, I think it still does depend on a roll. Hans will go. He'll go toward the 2,
Okay,
and you
I'll
can
go
come with
as
me
well.
if you want.
Yeah.
Awesome.
All right. Let's see here. These are now in melee. They cannot. They will not fire a missile. These 3 will attempt to fire missiles at people that are not in melee. 1, 2, 3. A 17. All right. A 17. 4. Oops. This will hit just here. 4. 6 damage. Just here. Alright. Alright, let's see here. It's missile fire. Now we're up to melee combat. Wymond and Hans. You could roll to hit if you'd like. Twice each, I believe.
Wyman should be able to roll 4 times.
Oh,
These are
sure.
single
Yeah, let's
die
do that.
creatures. I'd prefer it.
What I
Oh
see.
wow! I forgot that I
hitting?
could roll twice.
Yeah, they are 1 AC. That's right.
A 1 hit die, 1 AC.
I'm sorry.
yeah,
I'm sorry. 1 hit die. Sorry. 1 hit die. Yeah, sorry. I don't know why I said 1 AC. That's crazy.
And what's our target AC?
Your target AC is 11.
Okay, 1 hits. For 7 damage.
You hew it in half. It falls into the icy waters below.
Oh, okay.
I got 1 hit on a gentleman's 20.
All right.
And let's see what the spear. That's a 5.
You also lift it up off on your spear and are able to flick it off like something just into the icy water, and it's cast down in whatever belongs at the end of that current. And now magic.
11 of them fall asleep.
The remainder of them fall asleep. I'm also going to see if they fall. Because they may. None of them speak common anyway.
Wyman, we did pretty good.
They all fall into the water
Yeah.
and die.
As a note, my other prepared spell is Charm Person, so I'm out of sleeps.
Alright. You're able to make it across the bridge otherwise without issue. You do not see anything else to answer the earlier question. And I can also describe the courtyard. On a plateau of rock is a shelf overlooking the icy waters. Immense stonework church of some kind dominating its center. It looks like it was hewn out of the sheer stone face of this hill. There's the rope bridge behind you. In the northwest corner is a fountain. It's simple but elegant. It is filled with a shimmering, beautiful water. And there is a double door made of solid, heavy wood. It looks like it shows signs of recent battering as your lantern light is cast over it. Almost as if it were slammed open and closed by some massive, powerful creature. There are windows looking in, but they are barred. From where you are, you would have to get closer to them to see what's on the other side of the windows. It is probably 50 feet or more off the cliff face into the icy waters below. What do you do?
All right.
We're
I
gonna-
believe, are we all still in agreement to check out the fountain first?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Okay.
Alright.
As you get closer to the fountain, it looks much the same. It's about 20 feet across, made in a simple way, but well made. It's filled with a shimmering, clean water. It has a statue overlooking it of a woman. She has a statue made kind of thing of what looks like it may be fire in one hand and a book in the other.
Is the book open?
It is.
Does it appear to have any writing that we can see?
Yes.
Is it in a language that we might know?
It's in High Woldish, which you do know.
Oh. Well, 𝕬𝖚𝖋𝖍𝖈𝖐𝖊𝑗𝖈 going to read it. There's not out loud, obviously, but if there's something to be gleaned, he would be interested in doing so.
Not only is this what's it called? Not only is this this is the first time you've ever seen something like this, you immediately know who this is, actually. Because this is a I lied. No. This is, I'm sorry, I'm kind of sorting this out. It's in Woldish, which is odd. because what is written should be in liturgic, because this appears to be a thing written to someone you know from the Church of the Light.
That's interesting. If there was the upper temple is dedicated to a god not of the light, but this
Right.
one is.
Yeah, or nothing you've ever heard of, at the very least.
Right.
I'm trying to get you the text.
No, you're okay. I'm just trying to process this. It's interesting. Yeah, maybe
Here it goes. She, bright flame, bright, and you know this name, Brigid. Earth's embrace and winter's chill, and gently chase, with fire and eyes so keen, a promise of spring, a vibrant hope. Forges heart and gentle hand weaves the world. Healer, poet, and seer. Hearth's warmth and sacred. May your light forever burn, and let us know.
Wow. Huh.
that's interesting. I'm not out of character, or I would suppose in character, familiar with any Bridget saints. I was hoping there'd be spells in the book, but it's just like dedications. Bridge. The water,
do?
does it have any? Does it have any?
There
notes
is a
of
Saint
smell to
Bridget.
it? Is there?
I don't remember
Yes.
what she's the saint of.
Is there any smell to the water?
It smells sweet. What were you going to say, Ginny?
While my companions are checking out the fountain, is there any obvious place that the creatures that ambushed us might have had like a little camp or something set up while they were waiting that I can see without walking away from my companions?
It looks apparent that they must have existed in the grove and found ways to live there and along the rocky edge. You don't see anything. The structure seems contiguous with the walls, carved out and high, 25 feet, and there doesn't seem to be like a campfire or anything like that, except that well, the floor is scratched, especially near the door where there's some sort of violence that's taken place recently.
The same door that you said had been battered.
Yes. Were you gonna say something, Sparrow?
No, I'm just waiting for Marswick and the others investigating the fountain to finish.
Okay.
I mean, if I assume there's objection, but kind of interested in imbibing of this glorious fountain.
Same.
It appears to be consecrated.
Yeah, before we do, Jasir will say a prayer to the light and thanks to Bridget, and ask permission for her blessing. And then,
Your character doesn't know this, your player does. I'll get back to the water in a second. Jasir, you now can resist flames once as an answer to this prayer. You can write that down and use it later. You can only use that one time. The water. Maswick and Nissa, you all you drink the water? Okay.
I do.
You have any?
Hans will do it too.
Hans. Okay. Well, I know, are any of you all missing hit points?
Nope.
Jasir is. He'll. That's what he was asking, so he'll also imbibe.
Yeah.
I
You
suppose Barrow will as well.
Okay. You get back. Let's see here. 2 hit points. And you actually feel tingling in it, and you feel refreshed as you drink it. Its sparkling quality then diminishes, and you see plain, clean, clear water.
Sorry, what else was St. Bridget holding?
She's
Besides
holding
the
a
book?
flame and a book with that canticle or whatever it is in it. Poem.
All right. That's a cool phone.
Alright. I suppose next we should look through the windows before going to the door.
Okay. You look in the windows and you see that they're barred. Do you hold up the lantern? And it's dark. You want to hold the lantern up to them?
Yeah, who has the lantern?
Mazwick has the lantern. He'll look through, hold
Okay.
the lantern up, and be like, "Hello." He won't say that, but you know.
You see
think
a stone floor on the other side going off to the edge of your lantern light into the darkness, and the gnawed skeletal remains of what looks like dozens of man-sized creatures.
Is there glass beyond the bars, or is it just the bars?
Just bars.
Can I hear anything in there?
I also want to note where you see this. You actually see it. These windows are here. Yeah, good question. Let me see.
It's on the side there before it actually sets into the rock.
That's right. And Nissa, you hear a low rumbling, almost like gently shaking the stone, the ground. It's so it vibrates so much, and it has so much depth of what is snoring of something very large.
I quietly relay that to my companions.
What do you do next?
Well, something's definitely made this place its lair. How are we feeling about going in? Or do we want to just...
Do we want to
head
look
back
around
to
the
crossing?
perimeter to see if there's another entrance?
I like
Hans
that
is
idea.
in for a penny and for a pound.
Okay. So let's start with continuing around the perimeter looking for any other entrances first.
Ross, as we continued around, if there is something layering here, do I smell anything awful? Like the scent of prey that's been consumed?
Looking up to the window, if you try to smell, it does smell awful. It smells
Okay.
like rotten meat and dead things. You look around for another entrance. You find none. Just a moment. Sparrow, roll a d6.
Fine.
As you finish searching this structure for any other doors or windows, you find none. You make it back to the front of the courtyard, and you can see on the other side of the rope bridge at the edge of your lantern light, in the grove, among holes, are yellow eyes again. Another half dozen set of them or so. gibbering with one another nervously.
You can find out if this group speaks common.
Okay.
How far are we from them by now?
You are probably 60 feet. It's probably the edge of your, probably 70. It's like the edge of your lantern light on the other side. Just here, what do you say?
Are you hostile? We are not looking for a fight.
One of them says, let's see here. You work for him.
Who's that? Creature inside?
No, Prince.
I don't believe we directly work for any such prince.
Like the singer?
Minus 50 XP. You
Purple rain.
who you work for?
We are on our own quest. We're simply investigating because we're stuck in this town at the moment. I assume it's still hailing outside.
Outside?
Never mind that. We're
These
merely
guys are not
explorers.
smart.
You kill kin.
Where? Jasir looks around. I don't see anyone.
There's actually they're quiet for a moment at that, and you hear them arguing amongst each other. If you pass here, you give gift to king.
Door King, is that what's inside this building?
Prince and big one inside.
So there are two individuals in this building.
Okay. So it seems they have a king and they have a prince, and their prince is inside this building along with whatever monsters in it.
They have a king.
Big one.
Inside of there is a big thing and a prince.
I wonder, can we ask what Mazvik whispers to Jasir? Ask them what they want for a gift. I might be willing to shell out some cash.
What sort of gifts do you desire?
You have food? Shiny thing.
I believe we have both.
I got both of those things.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we should just kill these guys.
No, hold on.
You still have Charm Person, right?
I do
believe.
have a charm person.
Yeah.
Ideally, I'd like to use it on the prince, the king, or the big
Yeah,
thing.
I think that's interesting to use it on the prince.
Yeah, these
Yeah,
jokers.
Prince, these guys are like, these are mooks.
Well, yeah,
I'm
we're
not
not-
interested in mooks. I'm level 2 now. Come on.
Yeah.
Right, if we do an audience, if we can convince them to peaceably let us in, then you could unleash that.
What about, like, ask him if we can have an audience with the prince so we can give him a gift of shiny stuff?
Well, it seems they don't like the prince because they were concerned we were looking for the prince, and the prince seems to be inside this building.
Or, I mean, no, I'm sorry, not the prince, their king. Maybe we could ask if we could have an audience with their king. And then
Okay,
we could charm him.
So Josir will ask, so shall we present our gifts to your king? Is that what you desire?
They gibber amongst each other for a while, and they say, "You want to see king? Many miles along the river into darkness."
Never mind.
Okay.
Then what do you guys... Wait, then what are they doing here?
Is this an outpost? What has brought you to this location? guessing. As an aside, just Cyril mentioned like maybe there's a prince here and their king is somewhere else, and they're at odds with this prince.
Yeah, I think that's probably the situation. They might be here to monitor the prince. That being said, I think how about we just tell them when we come back we'll offer them gifts, and then in the meantime let's go into the building.
I was going to say, too, since you guys are yelling back and forth, I was going to be keeping an eye and an ear on the building just to make sure that we're not drawing something's attention, so...
Okay. So let me make sure I understand. You're saying you're consenting to offer a gift to the king in return for safe passage to leave when you depart here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Are you sure we should do that?
I mean,
Okay.
we can
at
always
least-
just kill them later.
Yeah.
All right.
But
Well,
if we promise something, they hear about it.
Well,
Okay, it's all good.
So what I'm saying is we just tell them we'll give them the food or gold or whatever, the gifts when we leave.
what
So
do
we're not
you,
giving them anything right now.
out of character, what do you offer, or are you lying to them?
I would offer food. Just like, I would say, let's say 3 days worth of dried rations.
Okay.
Okay, I'm down for that. I would be up for giving them that. I just don't want to give them a bunch of money.
Okay.
I have 8
And I'm up
silver
for
on
lying
me.
to them, too, so...
Agreed.
All right. Okay, so you said you go to the door, is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
One last thing Jasir will ask is, just to confirm, Prince and King get along or don't?
Don't.
We might not need to give them a gift if we do them a favor.
Okay. You open these big, heavy doors, and though it looks like it's been battered in recently, it's not. They just swing across their old, rusty hinges and open into a dark room. Inside, you can see. Actually, let me draw it first so I can. Hopefully this helps and doesn't make it worse.
So while you're drawing things, Ross, you said that the doors were battered, but if they function normally, was there a lock or something that had been broken? Is there some indication as to why they were beaten up?
No, great question. Yes, it looks like normally the doors could be locked, and either they were unlocked or they were locked and the lock was destroyed or ripped off or something. But it looks like it should be a functional door, and it was made not functional and either battered open or, and that seems most likely. It seems like it was.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So, there are in this room under your lantern light 14 statues. Each one of them carved in a ancient style to represent gods, one of whom you recognize from outside. There is a plaque beneath each, and there's chiseled writing on the stone. And the stonework here is the same as outside on the floor. The walls, however, look as though they were once painted, though the paint abruptly ends on the western wall. And there are 3 doors, same as the entrance door, except single doors. 1 on the northwest wall and 2 on the north wall. I will give you some measurements here, just rough measurements to help you, Christopher, in case. This entryway past the doors is 20 feet. This part right here. This is 20 feet as well, right here. And this is 40 feet right here. And the whole thing across is 40 feet when you add it together. A squared plus B squared equals C squared. Yes, I don't know. And the whole thing, north to south, added together is 60 feet.
Okay. And this is the door that faces the rope bridge?
That's right.
Okay. Well, and then that means that the window should be set in here or over here?
You see no window. It must be part of some other room or structure.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, that is interesting.
This map is going to be nonsensical, man.
And how many statues did you say there were? 14?
14.
Okay. I guess we can take a look at the statues, see the names, see if our more religious members recognize them as saints.
Are there any druids here?
No.
Does anyone speak any unusual languages?
No.
No. You do not.
so.
You do not understand this language, and it is not Woldish.
Hans barely speaks Common.
Now, I know it's not true. One of you can every so often understand part of Thracian, but
I
this
have
is,
a 65% chance to understand the language of the hills.
and that is also not this.
I'll put in chat my languages.
There's a 35% chance it is it, but I don't understand it.
These are languages that Sparrow knows.
I don't see him.
So, what's our situation? Are we kind of like spread out amongst the statues, checking them out, or are we still kind of clustered in a group?
I imagine that you all are perusing among the statues. What are you thinking?
I just kind of want to survey the rest of the room then. While my companions who are more learned in these kind of things are checking out the statues, I just want to be looking for threats around the rest of the room. Maybe stop by that door on the northwest side and listen.
Okay. A few options. So you can listen at the door. That's a check. So I'll take a round.
Okay. Okay, I'll do that.
All right, I'll roll the d6. See if you
Cool.
hear anything. You do not hear anything behind that door.
Okay.
Anybody else want to do anything?
I think if Nissa is gonna take the turn and we're actually gonna spend the time here, I think Hans is gonna listen at that door as well.
Cool.
She's listening at that door. Do you wanna listen at one of the other two?
Yeah, sure.
Do you want to listen at the northwest or northeast doors?
Let's say northwest.
Okay. You hear nothing. Does anybody else want to do anything in the 10 minutes?
The question about how detect evil works. It doesn't say anything about having to see it. It just says you feel it or something. It's not very clear text. It just says...
If you detect evil, you will absolutely detect within that range anything that is chaotic. An object, a person, a thing, and it just works. It absolutely works. And it'll of course remain active for the duration.
Yeah. I think Jasir will, after we examine the statues, he will cast that and sort of move along the north perimeter to get a sense of...
And you said there were 14 statues, right?
Yep. All right, let me see.
whether he feels evil presences, which the range on that is 120 feet.
Let's see. Sparrow, roll a d6.
Alright. That'll be a 1.
It's fine. Anyways, let's
What?
see. Yeah, everything's fine. Let's see
Alright.
here. I'm checking your evil stuff right now. I'm checking to see if you would notice anything. There is something evil beyond this wall. Beyond the wall to the northeast. And let's see here.
Pursuer will let everyone know his sensation of that.
There is also something evil. Beyond the northwest door. Just on the other side of it somewhere, not far.
Okay.
And when
So-
we looked in the window, we were looking
Yeah.
over here. I
When we
think.
look in the window, it was to the east, and we saw gnawed bones as well as the sound of snoring. So presumably that's the larger creature that's actually like eating, people.
So I think
Which-
if we want to charm something, it's going to be this thing.
Yeah, that would likely be the prince. Would be through this door then.
All right. You want to go through that door?
Yes, so that would be that north door to the west.
Let me make sure I...
All this stuff. You go through you open the northwest door. Cracks open. And, let's see. Roll a d6, please, Sparrow.
That would be a tree.
Let me see if I can. I'm gonna kind of quickly draw just what you can see. I'm not gonna draw everything. What's right there? Okay. Okay. You, from where you are, you can see the door you came in and stairs going down into the darkness just on the other side, and then there's like a corner here, and then it goes into like a corridor around there, and there are 5 obviously skeletons here, and you open the door and they simply stand there. They don't do anything. They just stare up at the ceiling. They block the path to that stairwell. That's what you can see from where you are.
Do you have any dimensions on this room?
You'd have to enter it. Do you want to enter it?
Oh, well, I don't want to enter it. I want somebody else to enter it.
The way that corridor turns, it might connect with that area with the larger creature. With Yeah, I think unless we want to turn back, I suggest our more melee folk get at those skeletons.
You,
I mean,
just-
Jasir could also preemptively turn him.
yeah.
Yeah.
You can see if that works. Jasir will hold up his holy symbol.
All right, let's see if it works. They are 1 hit dice skeletons. Hit die.
Yeah. Did I roll the right thing? Yeah, 13. 13 beats a 4 for skeleton. And 2d6. Oh, terrible.
Oh no, that's so bad.
Hey
Okay.
guys.
All right. 2 of them flee down the stairs. This angers the others, who turn and do their duty of guarding, and they they come toward the door to fight you.
Wyman, let's do it, man.
I'm ready.
Get in there, boys.
Hans, Wyman, 𝕬𝖃𝖊𝖗 up front, of course.
How dare you?
Also running into another
That's what got-
necromancer.
You
Nissa
put
to
my
the
magic
side.
users what got Kalkir killed, okay? We'll not have a repeat.
Who am I missing? Sparrow? I got Sparrow. I got
on.
𝕬𝖃𝖃. I got Nissa.
Hans.
Jasir. I got Hans and Wyman. Okay. All right. Declare spells.
Nah.
Okay.
No spells here.
All right. And
I cast Slash.
let's see. Movement and no, actually, roll for initiative. Sparrow.
5.
2. You are able to act first. Movement and missile fire. I assume the fighters move up to melee, but you can get off a volley of missile fire if anybody else wants to, if you want to.
I just see her moves in with his warhammer.
I'll leave it to the fighters.
Okay. All right. So Wyman, Hans, and Jasir, is Nissa gonna move?
No, I think she's going to let her stronger companions see if they can do some damage first.
Very well. All right. And then let's see. They are also not. They're gonna just move up and then melee. So Wyman, Hans, and Jasir, you can go ahead and roll. Your target is 12.
Ooh, that's not going to do it either time.
And you can
Got a
attack
9.
twice, remember that.
Yep, I got a 9 and a 1.
7 damage.
All right, you can attack 3 more times.
Ten damage.
Wyman just well, first of all, Jasir bashes this one in just over the top and puts it into a pile, and then Wyman just what type of weapon do you have again?
Right now, a bastard sword.
You're just like a blender, and these things are just torn apart and cast against the walls and shattered, and the combat ends.
How wide are these stairs?
The stairs go down probably 20 feet into the darkness.
Well, I'm wondering how wide are they? Does it seem like a large creature could go down those stairs as well?
It would squeeze. They are about 6 feet wide.
Okay. Well, then I suggest let's go down the stairs.
What's up on the ceiling first?
Yeah, let me look.
Since those skeletons were all staring up at the ceiling.
You take the lantern and cast the light against the ceiling, and the ceiling is dominated by a huge painting of one of the gods in the previous rooms. In the previous room from the statue, leading legions of dead soldiers from their battlefield into the underworld below. And let's see here. Oops. There is also, just to quickly describe the room, this room sort of is like a zigzag. It might be easier to draw it, let's see, like this. So where I'm drawing it is not like it's like this, okay? It's like that's the room, if that makes sense, Christopher. It's like a zigzag, okay? And actually, it's got one more zag. Whoops. Like this. And within that, there is each of these zags is 40 feet, okay? The northern zag, though, is like 60 feet. So it's just a little bit longer. And there's these stairs right in the middle. And the door that you came in is right in the middle. And it also looks like on the south part, that door to the west must have led in here from the previous room, if that makes sense. And then additionally, there is a portion of the wall on the northeast end that has holes. The bricks have been taken out of the wall. And then there is a door on the south end of that northeastern zag. Does this make sense?
Yeah, more or less.
Let me see if I can kind of draw. There's a door there. There's like stones taken out of the north side of it. There's the door you came in. And then there's stairs going down. And then there's a door over here. And these are all about 40 feet each, except this one up here is 60 feet. And they are 20 feet across.
Okay.
All right. Is there anything... You said you want to go down the stairs?
Yes, I believe that's all plan.
Before we do, if it's okay, the painting on the ceiling depicted one of the gods in statue form from the prior room.
Mm-hmm.
The statuary in the prior room, were any of them like holding anything like the statue of Bridget was outside? Is there... I'm kind of looking for like cues as to what this painting signifies in relation to the other gods.
Let me look.
Because I'm curious if maybe there isn't some cue that we could pick up on that, you know, we can offer some kind of observance. It felt like those skeletons were paying homage to this painting.
Well, where's your detect? Now that we're through the door, does the detect evil sense the evil down the stairs?
Don't let me forget that question, but let me answer her question
Okay.
first. Let me answer Jenny's question first, and then don't let me forget your question, Jehan, okay? This looks like a distinguished old man in warrior's garb, and he holds a horn, and he has a headdress with antlers. That is, and you see that in the statue and on the painting, or on the mural.
Okay.
Okay. Does he detect evil down the stairs? Let me see. Okay. No. Yeah, no.
Okay. So the only evil currently detected is the one that's to the east.
That is correct.
Over there, or somewhere around there.
Alright, well then, yeah, I say let's go down the stairs. See what we find.
Right. You will gain the ability, if you have mapped this and can recall how to do it, that when you enter this temple, you can just tell me how to get there and you can get to the second level if you choose. Okay. And that each character can do this. All right, that's here. Let's see here. You see, when you come down here, a stairwell that leads into a small octagonal chamber. Christopher, this octagonal chamber is simply 30 feet across and 30 feet north to south. There's artful depictions of the previous deities gracing each of the 8 sides of the walls, covered in thick soot and utterly defaced. Looks like someone took soot and gleefully scraped it across the walls and scratched it, trying to deface the images. There are 2 doors, one on the east that's blocked by a massive, heavy stone, and one to the north. What do you do?
This temple is... If this part of the temple is somehow more important to this death god, would anyone object if I found that particular god's mural and tried to clean it off just as a symbol of respect?
No objections here.
Okay.
You do that. Let me see here. Roll a D100.
All right.
This will determine how well you clean this off. And that will matter soon.
Okay. I rolled an ought too.
Your character does not know this, but you may write down that you have a blessing from this god.
Okay.
You can be spared from death once.
Wow.
As long as in the event of whatever occurs, it doesn't detach your head from your body.
Okay.
Okay.
You said there was just 2 doors, one to the east, one to the west?
And the one to the east is blocked by rubble.
Yes.
Good to know.
So I
Well,
suppose
by
we'll
a
proceed
huge,
with
heavy stone, actually. To be
Yeah,
clear.
yeah, a huge rock. Okay. I guess let's go through the north door.
Who tries to open the north door?
Can I listen at it before we go, or was I too busy cleaning off that mural?
Well, not now. You said that you go through the north door, so who did it?
Oh.
I presume one of our frontline party members.
𝕬𝖃𝖊𝖗𝖐 can do it.
Mazwick, you really want that guy to die?
If
feel so
Mazwick wants
bad
to do
for
it,
him.
no one's gonna stop him.
Well, you grab hold of the iron ring and the door will not budge. It seems to be stuck.
Even with my bulging muscularity of 6
Roll
strength.
a d6.
Oh, I'm on it. 6!
That's the worst. That's
Bummer.
the worst. Mazwick seems unable to open this door.
Shock of the night.
Come on, Mazwick, let the physically inclined folk have a go at it.
Yes, I need to save my strength for other more important things. I loosened it up for you.
Does somebody want to take a round to attempt to unstuck the door? Up to you.
Since they were unable to open it, can I listen before they try to pull it open?
I'll say you
wanna
can't
try.
do both at the same time. Now you could listen at the door that has the huge stone on it.
I will do that. I'll do
okay.
that.
All right, let me roll that in secret. Meanwhile, Wyman, if you want to roll your d6, you can do that as well. Okay.
Right. I have a 4 and 6.
Nice.
Let's see. Yep.
Nice.
Yeah, whatever. I got it started for you.
Is your spell still active? I think it is. That will have been 2 turns.
1 hour.
So yeah, it's
Yeah,
20
so-
out of 60. So a
Yeah.
few things. On this octagonal chamber, I'm just going to quickly draw an octagon here.
No way in.
Just
No
there,
way.
there, right? This one has a big stone. On the other side of this door, you sense an overwhelming evil of some kind.
I will let everyone know. Something dangerous and evil lurks
Overwhelming
behind here.
thing. There we go.
And the stone door.
Yeah. You do not hear anything behind that door, Nissa.
Okay.
Sorry, Ross. I'm confused with the orientation here. The door to the east is blocked by a rock, and is that a door to the north?
That's right. That's the one that Wyman just...
No idea why I
Kicked
drew a
open.
door to the west. All right. I feel like, yeah, I mean, I guess we'll learn what's behind this door that we just kicked open, but I mean, I'm sure we could roll this stone out of the way.
When that door opens, something strange happens. This north door opens, and on the other side is a short hallway. Let's see. It's a short hallway. It's 40 feet long, 10 feet wide. But inside are beautiful paintings. Floor, wall. It's like the Sistine Chapel where everything is painted. Walls, ceiling, everywhere. Curved. And someone sort of moving with stars and starlight and nebula in the shape of a god that takes the shape of a man. You hear, I have to look this word up. I've never heard this word in my entire life. It's fine.
It's pronounced mural, Ross.
Susration. Susurration, excuse me, which is a rustling, murmuring sound. It's the sound of a river. Susurration. You hear that gently coming from all directions, and as the door is knocked open by Wyman, as you're listening to the other door, while you don't hear anything, all of a sudden, your hearing is you can hear better than you've ever heard in your life. And you hear the sound of those little creatures that you fought earlier. And then you look around, and they can't possibly be anywhere. And you realize that you can hear them far, far away. And you realize you can hear the sounds of every room you've been in.
Be really funny if I blew my whistle really loudly right now, wouldn't it?
Interesting. And you said behind this door, the detect evil was also sensing evil.
Mm-hmm.
But we don't see anything in front of us. Just like the murals and stuff, we don't see any person.
Nope. Yeah, no person, just the mural and the gentle sounds coming from it. But Nissa only, because she's listening, all of a sudden your sound, your ability, the cognition of just hearing is overwhelming, and you can hear everywhere you've been before.
So that being the case, in those places we've been before, does anything stand out as different? Did the creatures cross the bridge, come like into the statuary room, for example, is there anything that would kind of give me an indication that something like that has changed?
You don't hear any changes except the little creatures are following you all, clearly.
Okay.
And they are reluctant to get very close to you. And they're scuttering around in the room you were in and looking at things. And they seem really fearful and very reluctant to get very close. But that's happening. Otherwise, there's no difference.
So
Okay.
where did the two skeletons go that fled down the stairs?
Oh, and also there is a door here at the end of this. So, oops, sorry, right there. Door at the end of the hallway. So, just to put it all together, octagonal chamber that you're in. On the east wall is a door with a boulder over it. On the north wall is a door that you just opened. It goes into a 40-foot long hallway with a door at the end.
When we came into this octagonal room, did we come through a door? So could we like spike that door behind us if anyone has spikes?
You came through a stairwell. Sorry, I
That's
guess I
right.
forgot
That's
to
right.
mention that. There's a stairwell.
No,
behind you.
I couldn't remember what we had done. So
I also generally object to the use of spiking. Closed are only means of escape.
Sparrow,
it's understandable.
What do we do next?
Would you like to go ahead into this room with this unknown evil, or would you like to switch directions?
I would vote for the unknown evil. I'll even open the door if you like.
The door's already open. I
What
think.
what is the strength score of the cleric and two fighters? What's of the cleric? What's your strength?
I think it's 12. Let me check. Yeah, 12.
12. Wymond? You're muted.
I'm sorry, evil.
What is
His
it?
is 17.
Evil room.
Oh no, I mean your strength is 17.
Oh, sorry, my strength, yes, it's 17.
Okay. Let me do the math. Okay, 29. And then what is
Hans.
Hans? Yes. Oh, can you hear me? Zach? Let's see, 29. Well, yeah, I need to know what his strength is. What is this is strength?
10.
I don't know. What about
If his character sheet is right, he has a 14. Hans has a 14.
Okay, that is enough. Okay. With the two fighters and the cleric, you're able to move the boulder out of the way. If that is what you wish to do.
I think our current vote is to go into the north room.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you said where the evil was.
Oh,
That
the
was just
evil
my.
not to
That
the
was
north?
just my vote.
Okay, wait. I might be misunderstanding. I thought the evil was to the north, or is the evil behind the room with the boulder?
Behind the room with the boulder.
Oh, okay. Well then, I agree with evil. Let's move the boulder.
Alrighty. Who opens that door?
Well, Maswick can do it.
Lord. Okay.
In my mind, it's just that Maswick always assumes that there's some great magical treasure behind every single door, and he wants to be the first to get in there.
Well, he's right. He's right. This room is an off-shaped rectangular room. There's a door directly across as you enter. There is the room is 40 feet north to south and 20 feet across. And then there's a little like rectangular side chamber that's like 20 feet by 20 feet. And inside of the room, let's see. It's marble and stone. But the marble and stone floors and walls are scorched and besotted with black soot. There's a huge sealed urn resting ominously on the north wall. A
There's
massive,
something cool in there, guys.
a massive statue of hands, sculpted from marble, juts from the south wall. And the carcass of a mountain wolf has been unceremoniously dumped into the cupped hands.
Alright. And where is the evil being detected from now?
Let's see here. From the hands.
Not from the urn to the north.
Actually, I'm wrong. I'm misunderstanding this. Let me make sure. I have misunderstood this. Let's see here. Give me a second. No, yeah, I've misunderstood this. That is not evil. So, sorry about that.
Okay.
It is... I will reveal something, though, because since you made the decision on it. It is obviously magical.
Alright. So, okay, so then to be clear, in this, like, octagonal room and this area that we're in now, there's no evil being detected currently.
That is correct.
Okay. Well, I suppose
but-
we should
sorry.
investigate the urn.
Yeah,
And
both the urn and the hands are evil or magical, or the hands are magical.
There's something... I will tell you this. So, there's... with the detect evil, something is wrong with the hands right now. But they are not evil. But there's something about it that is wrong. That's kind of what you can get from that spell. And I think at this point, the spell is... You've got about 20 minutes left. I'm going to do my turn check as well.
Well,
So with that said, do these hands remind us of anything from the statuary room? Did someone someone having placed this wolf carcass on it, did that defile them in some way?
It is obviously a defilement, as you look at it.
Okay.
It is a purposeful defilement.
well, okay. So I believe we should examine the urn to the top as well as remove the wolf carcass from the hands in the south. What would you all like to do first?
I guess I can help take down the wolf carcass.
Okay, so let's handle the wolf carcass at the south first and remove the defilement.
Okay.
Zero will help with that.
This is... You may begin to understand why I was confused, because the spell... I imagine almost Jasir actually might also be a little confused because there's something just off. There is something evil here. So you remove the defilement from the statue of the hands. And who is it that goes and looks in the urn? Somebody, you said you look in the urn? Somebody?
Mazwick can go check it out with somebody else.
Okay, Mazwick, how do you look in it?
Is it like an amphora? Is there a
like a
lid
big,
to it?
Yeah, no, it's open and yeah, like an amphora.
Oh,
That's right.
Yeah,
Really big.
tippy toes and peeking in.
All right, you peek
Like
in.
like Kilroy.
You see something that Mazwick would know about. There are inside wands and rods and scrolls and blades. These all have something in common, especially when you see the vellum of what would contain scrolls. But the scrolls are open, used, crumpled. They are useless. These were all once magical items. They are all crumpled, disused, and destroyed. Blades shattered into pieces, etc. Wands shattered as well. These are all magic items which have been destroyed. And you would also know, as a magic user, that powerful magical items cannot be destroyed by mundane means.
Interesting.
A terrible tragedy.
I think we'll continue with handling the defilement to the south then, while Mazrik's like beside himself over the destruction of the magical items.
And in fact, Mazurk, when you look at some of them, it's clear that these were evil items once, but they've lost their power, being destroyed. And you clear the defilement off of the hand statue, and it's cleared off.
Okay. Before it runs out, does it detect evil? Does it seem like the statue is fixed, or is there still that offness about it?
It seems like it's fixed.
Okay.
So,
We can continue to the room to the east then, if it seems we've cleared this room.
And actually, let me see. Who cleared it off, anyway? Statue.
I believe Jasir and Nissa.
yeah.
Both of you roll... I'm sorry. Yeah, both of you roll a D100, yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Seven.
Nice. Okay. This will apply to both of you, and it represents you cleaning it off.
90.
You've
That's good.
cleared the thing. You've cleaned the statue off. Your character would not know, but your player knows. You can cure light wounds once on yourself, and only once. As whatever this thing is bestows a blessing on you. Okay. Now who opens the east door?
Mazwick can do it.
Oh my.
It's like a normal opener now with Maswick.
One of these days.
Mazwick, the door opener.
Oh, shall
The doorman.
Mazwick the bellhop.
He had a short but productive career.
Okay. There is a statue here in the center of this room. First of all, the room is mostly a square room that is about, it's 50 feet across and 40 feet north to south, and then there's a little alcove on the southeast. It's about 15 feet deep. There is a door on the south wall and on the east wall, and there is a statue in the center of the room. The statue is some sort of god. It looks like he's standing over a massive basin of worked bronze. It's ash streaked as well, like the previous room, including all of the inner basin. And I think that's it. Yeah, that's right. That's all you see in this room.
Okay. What about the alcove?
The alcove has nothing of interest in it. The walls are contiguous, and there's nothing of note on the walls.
Okay. Well, I suppose maybe we could, since we seem to be dealing with a lot of defilement, maybe we could like clean the bowl or something.
You clean the bowl?
Yes.
Okay, you clean the bowl. Nothing seems to happen.
Okay. Does there seem to be any other kind of defilement in this room?
The entire room is streaked with ash.
I imagine it would be quite a task to try to fully clean it.
Also, you've tried, and you clean the statue in the basin, and
Yeah.
Nothing seems to happen.
I'm out of oil, but if somebody wants to light a fire in this basin, that might have.
Yeah, I like
might
that
lead to
idea
something.
too.
It looks
I'll light
like
the fire. I just don't have any oil.
I'll clarify one thing. It's clear. It looks like the basin is meant to hold a liquid. That's obviously what it's meant to hold.
Yeah, oil. No, I'm just kidding.
You put it. Okay.
I've got water in a water skin. I can dump some of that out.
Yeah, sure.
We could bleed one of our companions.
Ooh, Mazuk's got lots of blood.
Was this statue one of those represented in the center hallway that we presented?
Yes.
So we had taken a little while to look at those statues.
Yes.
So would we know what this statue represents? Who it represents?
Well, you weren't able to read the language. But let me look.
In any case, I like the idea of Maswick putting some water in the bowl.
And if that doesn't work, then it's on to blood.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
This
This is a man, muscular, mostly naked, with braided hair, and he has in one hand a wheel, and in the other hand he has a spear. That's what the statue was before. This one is over a bowl, and it looks like he's going to do something with the basin. You put water in it, nothing seems to happen with water.
I mean, if nobody has any other ideas.
I think somebody should nick their hand and drip some blood in.
All right, it's blood time.
Yeah.
I got a dagger, I got a hand.
I also
Show
have
me the
a
money.
hand, I have a hand.
Yeah.
Do you take it from your hand or someone else's?
I'll take it. I'm not just gonna stab one of my friends.
I'll take some from my hand and put some of Sparrow's blood in as well.
By our blood combined.
Let me see your hand a second.
You both you both do that?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
sure, why
think both
not?
Sparrow
Okay.
and Maswick will put in some blood.
All right. You learn something, but this isn't going to work for everybody, but it tells you something. So each of you put some blood in. You can subtract 1 hit point as you bleed, as you cut yourself. You fill it with your blood, and what are your spells, Sparrow?
I have all the first level ones, and I have web.
Okay.
Currently prepared, I have 2 instances of sleep and 1 instance of web.
Can you cast web?
Yes. I'm
Okay.
level 3 now.
Maswick, you can cast web right now.
Oh, I'm pogging.
Literally like you have it memorized. Out of character, and Maswick doesn't know this, but you can only do this once.
Yeah.
Did you just say I'm pogging?
I did.
Meanwhile, Maswick, what are your spells? Sorry. I think you just have first level spells, right?
Yes, I have sleep, charm person, and magic missile. I currently only have charm person.
Sparrow, you can 75% of the time understand Thracian. You can only do that once.
Okay.
And you suddenly realize after you put the blood in this bowl of each other and mix it, this occurs.
Just as a note,
This,
I only have a 65% chance to understand Thracian.
yeah. So there you go, 65% chance. And this is more of this isn't gonna, you guys don't have to start cutting each other open. This is just a hint as to how this might work.
Interesting.
Okay.
Is the spear that this? No, this one's not holding a spear. The one in the main chamber was holding a spear.
That's right.
Okay, never mind.
So I imagine it's about sharing with each other.
Yeah, here it's quite related to caring.
Oh, yeah, it's about blood.
Yeah.
Just to be very clear.
Let's be clear about this.
Sharing our blood.
Blood is caring.
We're all blood siblings.
Interesting. Okay.
Okay.
So this feels like a partial answer. Maybe this might be something to come back to if you guys want to move on.
Yeah, let's try this door right here to the south.
Okay.
Guessing based on the angle, does that go back into the statuary room?
This does.
This is downstairs from the
Oh, that's right. That's right. I keep forgetting
Yeah.
about that stairway.
I was gonna say, wasn't it you forgot it the first time too?
I did.
But I think it might align with the diagonal, whatever that's up there too. Right, because floor up, there's the same.
Let's
diagonal.
find out together.
Hmm.
One of Richard's favorite expressions. Pretty sure he's only really used it like twice, but I've just been like, "Yep, that's his favorite."
Okay. There is a statue here as well. This statue looks like, what is that, like Nebraska or something? You've got like
I think you're thinking of Nevada.
Nevada. Thank you.
Nevada, Nebraska. It's
What?
all the same.
Yeah, Nebraska? No, that doesn't make any sense. Oh, well.
Ross is like, if it's not Kentucky, who cares?
It's all Ohio. 60 feet across and 50 feet north to south. 60 feet across, 60 feet north to south. And then you have this cutaway to the northwest and, of course, that cutaway to the southeast. There's a door on the west side and on the north side, and there's a statue in the center. In here, the statue has also been defiled. Again, with ash.
Okay. What does this statue look like?
Yeah, let me find it.
While you're on that tangent, did the arrangement of the statues in any way reflect the arrangement of the rooms we've come across so far?
That's a good question. Yeah, it seems like the upper level is a sort of arrangement according to a hierarchy of where the gods ought to be, and then this place also has that.
Okay.
They are shared. This is obviously a warrior, a kind of masculine Conan-esque looking figure, a muscular body, shield, mostly naked, loincloth, armored shins, and otherwise 2 spears, one on his back and one in his hand, and a shield in the other.
Sorry, north to south, how long was the room?
60 feet.
Okay.
Let me see if I can find... I believe it's just a spear.
Okay.
Yeah. And the spear is a notched spear. It has an odd shape to it.
And the spear...
Notched in what way? On the haft, on the spearhead?
Let's see here.
Yeah. And is the spear made out of the same material as the statue?
It's just the spear it's a statue. It's not an actual spear.
Okay.
Yeah. And let's see. It has 7 heads with 7 barbs. That's probably, of many barbs. It looks almost like it's not so much forged as taken from some antediluvian beast and then formed into a weapon. What do you do?
I suppose do some cleaning of the ash on the statue as well.
That takes 10 minutes.
Detective Bill's like about to go down now, right? Do we sense anything before it drops?
This would be the last legs of it.
Sparrow, roll a d6. is
5.
All right. Let me check nearby. There is something incredibly evil beyond this door. And the door actually opens and something disgusting rolls out and rushes towards you. It's not that big, but it's pretty big. It's like 5 feet long and disgusting. It looks like
Not for long. Get them, boys.
5 foot large, like a 5 foot large insect worm with hundreds or dozens of little legs as it scurries along the floor. What do you do?
Chop it
Are
to
you all
bits.
fine to engage it in combat?
It's him or us.
Combat? All right, declare spells.
Alright.
No spells?
I'll declare web.
Very well. Are you sure? You're
Yes.
gonna do web? Okay. All right. Let's see. No other spells. Roll a d6 for initiative. Six for
Nice
initiative, and yeah, you are able to act first. If you're firing a missile, you can do so. Your target is 11.
Ginny is throwing a dagger. How far away from it am I?
You are about. Yeah, that's a good question. I rolled a. You are 10 feet away from it.
Okay. I rolled a 17 to hit them.
Right. Let's see here. Small one. Not the one we want.
It's the one I want.
There
Mazwick's,
we go. This one right here is the one we.
Mazwick's going to want to move to flank it.
All right. How much damage did you do?
I do 3 points.
It squeals and raises up half of its body. It's hundreds of little legs squirming. Its maw opening in your lantern light as it's held back as you throw something at it. Did anyone else do a ranged attack?
You know what? If our boys aren't in melee with it yet, I'm gonna throw 3 darts at it.
Okay.
Is it close enough to the statue that someone could tip the statue over on it?
Does somebody want to do that?
I don't know if we want to incur the wrath of whatever god that is.
I think that's fully a thing that's going to happen, but if my character was stronger, I would have tried it. But
What'd you get,
I think
Mazwick?
that's a Wyman's
An
thing.
18 or 17, a 1, and a 6.
All right, one hits.
All right. Then it's gonna deal 4 damage.
You slay it before it gets to you.
Wow!
yeah,
What a scrub!
All right.
I pick my darts up.
yeah, same with my dagger.
The
This was a big
door
creature that went down
remains
fast.
open, and you hear a grumbling noise from the other side of the door in some alien language you do not understand. It is a force of great evil on the other side.
If there is still time, or if this was heard in time, it might be worth letting the web go off on this door.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'll still have web go off.
Yeah,
but, like,
because otherwise the spell will just fizzle.
Like
But
right
this seems
here.
like a good use for it.
I don't remember us saying that it would fizzle.
Okay.
Was
Think
that what
can
we
cancel
ruled?
s-
I think.
It's possible. I'm just pulling from Richard's or my own name.
Did it happen in
Labyrinthian
Richard's game?
mind.
And the reason I ask about that is because we've been over this a million times and I forget a million times. But if it fizzles in Richard's game, that means it was very studiously went over. Does that
I
happen?
think that's the case. I think
Then
you
we
use
will
the
do that.
spell
Yeah. So
if you don't get to use the spell.
I think I recall that being the case. Okay. So you put it against this door here on the west side. Is that right?
yes.
Okay. You do that. You put a big web on the door. You hear a bunch of scurrying behind the web, but something seems confused and blocked by your web. What do you all do?
I think we should move downwards a little bit and try to like get a look into the room through the web, see if we could see what's inside.
There is, on the other side, some huge beast with a jagged, nasty-looking sword. It is probably 10 feet tall, this thing there. It laughs. It says, "Have you come and not understood, outsiders, what is happening here? Now, surely, we could come to some agreement. You do not understand the powers in which you entreat upon these statues."
And what power is that?
Gods which do not wish for your well-being, I tell you that much.
To be clear, we detected evil from this being, right?
Yes.
Okay. Is this a humanoid?
It is a humanoid, yes.
Mazik, I think this might be your time.
I think this is gonna call for a charm person.
Okay. Alright. Come on now.
Feel it deep in my bones.
Alright, that's too big. Come on. Well, this is one thing about Foundry.
Well, I will say, while you're sorting that out, I do think charm person has a size limit to it.
It's a HD limit. I'm pretty
Was
sure.
it says this spell affects living bipeds of human size or smaller.
This is not human sized. So
Okay, that's what I figured.
You can save your spell.
All right. I think that's why I was wondering, whether it counted as a humanoid of sorts. But I guess it's just like, it's just bipedal.
Chaos does weird things to people.
Yeah, it's just bipedal. Okay. And wait, we're almost out of time as well, right?
We have
Yeah.
Close.
15
About
minutes.
50 minutes.
Hmm.
I don't trust a word this guy says.
Yeah.
There is a
I wonder-
thing far worse than I. We could work together. You do not understand the peril that you face. I don't have any interest in the above ground, but the thing I fight here does. And the gods which you sacrifice to here that you do not know, do not care. They have their own agenda.
So are you the one they call the prince then?
Let me look at that. I don't think so. Let me make sure that's... Oh, yeah. Ah. Yes. Ancient is my fight with these beings. Far beyond what you know or can understand. I was prince of these lands long before they came.
Why do the creatures with the yellow eyes dislike you and feud with you and their king?
Those are mere beasts. They come from the mountains nearby.
Did not answer the question.
Because their king has delusions of grandeur and they think that they can make conquest against this ancient temple. This is a place of baubles, long forgotten gods that do not matter to you, and a grudge that I have to see through to the end. One of your kind opposes me here. It is your true enemy. You should see to it, not to me. If you are wise.
So, like, what if we're just interested in the baubles too, though?
I don't care for them. I am here to...
You know what any of them are? Just for chance, we can take them off your hands. Get them out of your way. You know?
These statues. But I will see to all of them. They must all be destroyed. They must be stopped. But the sorcerer, he slows my progress. He prevents me from seeing the dead gods that were my enemies. He prevents my slight, my amusement. That is all that I'm here for. I do not care about the overworld. But he does. He will use the power of these statues. He will slay you if he can.
And what is the being on the floor above us, in the room to the east?
That is his pet. He has ensorcelled it. He uses it to prevent anyone from entering or leaving. It eats the little creatures that scurry above.
What shall you do when your grudge has been slaked?
I pass into the earth for another millennia.
Okay. Well, I guess we'll say to it, but I think for now, we have not made enemies of each other. Do you know where the sorcerer is?
Yes, it would benefit us both if you would slay him. Beware, he is powerful. I will tell you. I'll tell you exactly where he is.
Now, if I could charm that guy, then we'd be cooking.
Yeah. I think we're about to head back to the surface for now, but...
Yeah. I'm just thinking,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So we go back to our faction warfare.
Another town gets destroyed at the end of
A path of death and destruction follows us.
Hey, they have an army stationed here, and they're fine.
I will say Ross is probably the only referee that would be totally stoked for everyone to solve all of his problems that he's presented in the game so far, or that the game has presented with just really lucky charms.
Well, this seems important, otherwise I wouldn't tarry on this, and he will tell you.
Okay. I think we're about to head back anyway, so if it's something that takes a while to find, you could just tell us after.
Right. This is a good lead for next week, though. It might be worth staying another week in Guyana. But
I agree.
He will tell you that the stream, this entire complex descends to a third level, which is actually the true central shrine of the god that is worshipped here. And this temple was erected around one of his hated enemies. In fact, a hero of ancient days that once slew one of his kin. And in those antechambers on the third level that is nearly just above the water's edge down below of the underground current, there is the sorcerer and a powerful undead and a evil black blade. and
Huh. A black blade, huh?
Another evil black
funny,
blade?
funny
We
you
were
should
looking
say
for one of
that.
those.
Funny you should say that. We're in the market for an evil black blade.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah, you think the other
I mean,
sorcerer would take
one
it?
black blade is as good as another black blade.
did
So
not make
Just
any
a-
of that up.
Just
Is
a real,
there.
just a real quick question. Yeah, I don't know if you could tell us. You know, obviously we don't have a super amount of time, but I would have wanted to ask him if there's anything in the complex that could help us defeat him as well.
He will say that he does not care if you make entreaties to his ancient enemies and their ghosts and vestiges, as you have done, and any artifacts you find of them, you can take.
Okay. Cool.
You return to the Cahill Inn through the howling winds as night falls on the sixth day of Marta, and you settle into the tavern at the Cahill Inn, and survive.
To interrupt real quick, I would have two questions too, but we can resolve it afterwards, right?
So, yeah, you survive another day, and with that ends our adventure for the night. Mythic Mountains RPG is a private online play club that focuses on folk RPGs. Folk RPGs are the games that belong to all of us. They're what actually happens at a table between friends. It's their voice that has the authority on what is fun and what works for them. Weekly, we upload our games to allow others to sit in with us. The channel isn't monetized. We don't own the artwork, music, software, or games shown in these actual plays, and you can find links to their authors in the description. Like, subscribe, and share if you wish, or don't. Just like games in person, you're welcome to pull up a chair, sit in, and watch some of our games. No performances, no fancy equipment, just regular people playing folk pencil and paper role-playing games and having a good time. We hope these games will prove a source of enjoyment to anyone just wanting to listen in, anyone looking for examples of how actual groups run and play folk RPGs, and most importantly, if you haven't found your group yet, you're welcome here at ours.